All right. Welcome back. Episode 2 of the Use Your Head podcast with Riyan and Nikhil. And, we have a very special guest with us today. He's the two-time captain of Virginia Tech Varroth, third place at Infusion last year. So shout out that. This dude cannot hoop extraordinaire basketball, like cannot hoop. Indian Standard Time expert. Never on time to anything. But, we have Akash Banerjee in the building. Clap it up for Akash. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I can't clap. I'm holding the mic, but Nikhil, you clap for us. You
I got you. I got you.
Yeah. What's up, Akash? How you doing?
Hey guys, thank you for having me. First of all, I want to say, there's nothing more I'd rather do right now on a Sunday afternoon than sit next to these beautiful faces
For sure.
and we can talk about literal nonsense, for a whole hour.
Have you listened to any of the episodes at all?
I did, yeah. I also, so I was watching the first episode and then like 30
Wait,
minutes.
is that episode 0 or episode 1?
Zero, sorry, zero.
Okay.
And then I was watching it and then I was like, bro, I know all of this already because you guys are just talking about like your
Yeah,
college
we're just
program and everything.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, I've had this conversation with them, like it's literal same.
Dude, you're gonna have the same thing going on because we're gonna talk about a lot of things like that you and me and like the kind of like relationship that we've had, like I guess introducing our relationship and how we know each other and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean so I guess the way for the people that don't know, again, everybody that's listening already knows. But anyway, for the sake of saying it, for the sake of doing it,
For the viewers, right? For the viewers.
for the quote unquote viewers, right? Akash, me and Nikhil were captains of a road last year at Virginia Tech, and Akash is he's the unk now of the team. When Nikhil was saying this whole thing about the Instagram comments about being an unk, that baton has been passed over to Akash. And
Very
now you're
true.
the unk of the team. You're the old man, along with like
I actually
Raghav
am.
and
Like I've
Nikhil.
had these thoughts in my head because the only seniors really are me, Raghav, and Riyan. Or sorry, me, Raghav, and Harish now.
Oh, true, Harish.
Yeah, but that's it. Like, man, I used to go downtown and I was like, dude, I can't wait for like to guilt trip some seniors into buying me drinks. Now I gotta like now I'm the one who has to buy drinks.
Isn't this supposed to be the other way around, going like, oh, it's like my last time here. Like, why don't you buy me a drink or something?
No, bro, it's always like, bro, you're older, you got money, you're unk. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
Well,
they're
we're
all
all
wised
at
up to
school.
it,
We're
bro.
all
They
at
know.
school though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't see where the money part comes in.
I
I
don't
get
know.
it.
Maybe it's just me. Like, it's always like, my first time here, you buy me a drink, let's celebrate.
Oh, see, I would do that for someone's birthday though. Like if they just turned 21, then I would go to
Mhm.
like buy them a drink at the bars. But then again, I don't do that because I don't go out that often. I mean, you guys saw me every time I was probably out. I was probably also with you guys when I was out.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, Rihanna is way too cool to hang out with us.
like really, really cool to hang
Yeah,
out.
like so cool, Like you're just the coolest person. So
I mean, I've been told. Um,
I heard this quote actually. It was I think you said it was I'm top five.
I'm top 5. Dude, I remember, bro, back in the day, me and Akash had this like conversation of who's like top 5 most influential people in Virginia, and I just wanted to throw myself in that list. I'm gonna throw my name in that. So,
So
um,
stupid.
yeah, for sure. I mean, I stand by that. I've done a lot, but now I'm in DC. So can I say I'm like top 5 most influential in DC or like not yet?
You can
So
do DC might be a stretch. You could just I don't know. I was thinking maybe DMV, but DMV is even bigger.
yeah, you know, I'll just stick to. We can do DMV. That works for me.
That one
You
might be a
said it.
stretch.
I didn't say it. You said it. So
I was
I'm okay with that.
I was just talking out loud, so if you think about it, I didn't really say it yet. I was just thinking out
all
loud.
right, we got to be
Okay.
careful, guys. We're like blowing up his ego way too much right now. This is crazy. DMV, East Coast, just get, do we just
Yeah,
say
we
everything
can
at
keep
this
going
point?
actually. So wait, where do you rank in terms of Madison, Wisconsin? If for the people that don't know, that's
Oh,
the capital of Wisconsin.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah. This
yeah,
is the third time you said it, so
yeah. I want to make sure people know
yeah.
that.
No, I'm number one, bro. That's easy. I mean, that's
Too easy.
yeah. I got here and I was already number one. It's not even a question. I don't think there's any debate. Name another person from Madison right now.
I can't actually. I don't know
Exactly.
I
That's
literally don't.
actually that's a valid point. It's
You
a
see what I'm
very
saying?
valid point. I don't know anybody else from Madison.
Exactly, man. I'm
Man,
telling you.
that's maybe I gotta move to some middle of nowhere place I too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, get your stats up, man.
Yeah. I know a good people in good amount of people in Blacksburg right now. So you can't say anything, Akash. You
Who is
no.
more influential than me in Blacksburg?
I'll name your 2 other captains. You know what I'm saying? Vihan and Anane.
Bro.
I'll throw Nia and Raghavan
Known
in there too.
Nane for literally 1 year.
That's true.
Like
That's
us.
so true.
It's true. That's true. You know, I'm
Oh,
a
by the way, I just kind of off topic, but look, I just pulled out of my desk.
oh
Oh,
oh my
Yeah,
God.
Akash,
Is that
you wanna
from the
explain? You wanna explain to the viewers what that means?
I will explain. So, once upon a time, there's a really handsome guy, Akash. He got bit by a spider, and then he not play. So, we've talked about they talked about like this dance team we're on Varose, and so last year, their senior year, well, I guess Nikhil's like fifth year, but their last year, our theme was Spider-Man, and so the way the dance team kind of thing works is the way I compare it to, even though I don't want to, it's kind of like a theater play a little bit, in the sense that you put together a story. So our story, which I came up with, but our story was basically it was like Green Goblin versus Spider-Man, and then there was like Spider-Man's best friend, Norman. So that was Rion, and then I was the Green Goblin, and AK's other guy on our team was the Spider-Man. And so we got these things as our like kind of our stage markers. We put them on the front of the stage so we know what's going on, and we would have these. We like laminated them and we stuck them to boxes. But now we just have them. So
yeah, that's like a very good kind of representation of what DDN kind of is. Like
mhm.
this whole like the theatrical play and like the way that we use dance to kind of showcase that and everything. Because
Yeah.
like I mean, you said we do Spider-Man and everything, but like all these teams all over the place do whatever it is. I think what last year's winner they did some zombie.
Zombie. Yeah, they were like
Yeah.
four, like three zombies.
Yeah, there was a lot of zombie stuff last year. I mean, that's cool though. You know what I'm saying? You
It is.
know?
I think like the interesting thing about like general themes, like because
Mhm.
they did zombies, right? There's no like one literal zombie story they
Mhm.
um chose, and that's kind of like a good thing about doing that because you can make your whole own story.
Yeah,
Like we were constricted a little by having to make it make sense because Spider-Man already like people know the story of Spider-Man.
yeah. So it's like it's kind of like I mean, we kind of went pretty generic for the way we did it, but yeah, a lot of these teams kind of like make their own thing out of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Dude, yeah. I miss it a little bit, dude. I was thinking about it the other day.
Oh yeah.
Like well not the other day, more like a few months ago. But I was just like I was in India and I was like jet lagged like crazy, so I couldn't sleep. So I was just up like looking at the ceiling, going like, man, we really did that.
Mhm.
We really were captains, like put our heart and soul into this whole thing for like a year.
Mhm.
We got a
Dude,
trophy out of it too, you
I
know?
still go and watch like the Infusion vlog from time to time. Like
Really?
I'll go look like little clips of it.
Yeah.
And like the part where the trophy came on and then like Father Stretch Your Hands is playing.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
like that's my favorite thing to
Beautiful.
watch, dude. It's so
Dude, and
funny.
Ani did such a good job of
Yeah.
editing that whole thing.
He
I
Mhm.
really.
watch it because of Anikit's like little nuggets of wisdom in there.
Yeah.
He might have carried that entire vlog. I won't
He
even lie.
carried that
He
vlog.
definitely
The
did.
whole
He was
Yeah.
the
thing
main
with the
character. He was actually
yeah,
the main character.
he was the main character of that vlog. Dude, and then who else was the no, Sina had this crazy like
The religion
oh
thing.
yeah, that was
Yeah, yeah.
crazy. That was crazy. And that too, it was like in time two speed and everything, bro. That was so funny.
Yeah.
That was so funny. So Akash, how do you so I don't know if you I mean you know this. You're the first guest on the Use Your Head podcast. How do you feel special at all?
Oh my God. Let me tell y'all. So I was
Did you like expect to be called the first one?
so I don't know. I thought I was expecting like one of you guys' friends that graduated, maybe Saho or
Again,
Aniket.
kid. Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know. When I got that text, like I sent you that GIF, it was like it literally felt like I was being picked for the draft.
Like first pick overall.
Yeah,
I
I just
guess
felt amazing,
yeah.
I felt
You said
validated.
Brandon Miller though. Brandon Miller was not the first pick. I'm just letting you know. Like in terms
No,
of like
yeah, okay. Well,
technicalities and
big
stuff.
basketball
Yeah.
guy.
So like
Yeah.
so the it didn't apply. Just to let you know,
Yeah.
just to make sure you understand that.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
known as like a basketball head, but like sometimes I don't know things.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no,
You're
it felt great though.
crazy.
I just kind of, I mean, I just looked up on gifts, someone getting drafted number
No,
one.
we're just
I
playing. Don't
mean,
worry.
fair enough. Honestly, it kind of worked out. It kind of worked where like I understood what you were saying, you
Hmm.
know,
Okay.
even though like you may have not wanted to be that way, or I guess that's not the right way to say it. Anyway, but you messed up a little bit, but we don't need to let the people know that. But it's cool.
See,
Um,
this is why I'm the first guest. We have that telepathy kind of thing.
yeah, dude, I was thinking about like first guests for these other podcasts. I remember when Podcast P had their first guest. Do you guys listen to Podcast P at all?
I just see
No,
the clips.
the
I haven't watched
clips.
the full episode.
So they like love Carl Anthony Towns.
Hmm.
He was their first guest, and they love him. So it was like he's now the first recurring guest. So it's like starting off strong with Carl Anthony Towns. So maybe if this goes well, you can be that reoccurring guest on our. You're like the cat right now. You're Carl Anthony Towns. I'm definitely Paul George. You can be Dallas or Jackie or something, Nikhil.
All right.
I guess
Take that
Jackie's an
hit.
actor, so
All right, well, yeah, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, you could take
I'm
it.
cool
But
with that.
you're cat right now. But also cat's
You
a
want to hear my cat impression?
yeah, I want to hear your cat impression. I was gonna say, like, can you do your best cat impression?
All right, ask me a question.
Um, what do you think about losing to what Dallas in the playoffs?
Bro, I don't even know. Like, it's just
Bro, I used to see those things where it would just be like, oh, the new version of Cat's voice just dropped, like, look out,
oh
like,
my
watch out, you know
God.
what I'm saying? Watch
It's
out.
either like, yeah, we lost, or it's like, dude, I
Yeah.
don't even know. Like,
I think he's a different person when it comes to like the streaming space, and then when it comes to the interviews, when he's like
yeah,
on ball, like play, like when he's mic'd up. I feel like Cat mic'd up, that must be some of the most like the funniest things I would
most
like see.
entertaining things. Dude, imagine if we did mic'd up like DDN, like
I
us
think
on
they do
stage.
Oh,
that, right? It's like some people would do that, like mic'd up DDN.
On stage?
Oh, I don't know about on stage.
they
I've
do
I've
like
seen.
I've seen the before and after. Like I've seen those like TikToks where it's like, "Hi, my name is blah blah blah," and then this is me before the run through, and then
Mm,
after the run through. Like we did that for
yep,
Road. We
yeah.
made a TikTok about that.
Mhm.
But like during the thing would be cool. The thing
That
is
would,
During
like I don't know, I don't know how well it would work because um like you have to do facial expressions and everything, right?
mhm.
So a lot of the time, like I'll be like, like during the
You
thing,
don't make a lot of
you
noise,
don't
but
make a lot of noise, exactly.
yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I remember we tried the GoPro thing that one time.
Yeah, it fell off though, right?
Yeah, yeah. And so we
when
we
did
were
that
just staring at
happen?
like the ceiling the entire time. We couldn't even see
That was
anything.
Raghav's freshman year. He put a GoPro on at our exhibition.
Mhm.
Oh, actually,
Yeah.
I had
they were
COVID,
just
so
on the floor the entire time. How come I
No,
did not
so
know
it like
that?
so he had like the strap and everything, and there was like
Mhm.
a Velcro thing right in the center of his chest.
Yeah,
And the GoPro is supposed to be facing forward,
yeah.
but half like literally 5 seconds into the thing, the GoPro like shifted up like this. So it was still strapped to his
Oh.
chest, but we were just looking at like the bottom of his chin and like the
nice.
the black ceiling and everything.
Yo, post that on the Road Media, please. Like
Uh,
that's gotta be out. Like people need to see that,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know? Dude, we were supposed to do this yesterday, right? But then Tech had a game. So were you out tailgating, helping Tech win that?
I actually went home to Nova. I didn't even
You went to
stay.
Nova?
Oh.
I did, yeah. I wasn't originally planning on it. It was kind of like a last minute decision. But
Mhm.
so my mom, it was her birthday today. So I wanted
Mhm.
to go see her, but she went to this 10-day meditation camp where it's a no talking camp.
Oh, whoa, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
And so that's no talking, no like they don't even let you get like a pen and paper. Like you can't do anything like that. And so she had like no access to her laptop, phone, or anything. So I hadn't talked to her in a while. And she was getting back today, but she was getting like she's not even back yet. She's driving home right now. So I didn't end up getting to see her, but I just like threw some flowers on her bed.
Yeah,
So
that's cool. I think you were still at home to like I see whatever you wanted to see, do whatever you wanted to do. Maybe like
yeah,
get some supplies, go to Costco,
yeah.
whatever.
I had to yeah, Costco, man. I
Dude,
miss Costco.
did you hear about last
I
podcast?
actually did, yeah. Bro was
Got a
yapping.
Costco membership. Dude, Nikhil got me thinking about the Costco churros, bro. Like, I feel like people love those
You
Costco
know,
churros. Maybe it's
people
not just
just
Right?
don't.
Nikhil,
You just don't understand. Oh, there.
and I never will.
See, that's
Yo,
tough.
you have it on
That's
lock.
tough.
Oh,
That's
you're
tough.
telling me. You're telling me to talk to.
Has it on lock, dude? Is that your own, like, or is it your parents?
No,
Like,
it's
it
my
doesn't have.
mom's.
Oh, okay.
You know,
Oh,
they started cracking down on Costco. Like if you go with someone
Really?
else, like even your parents, they will not
Yeah.
let you.
That's so wild. I feel like if
Yeah.
it's your family, you can go along with them
It's
because
the
you're going
same
to the same
last name and
household.
everything. My brother, he ended up going with my dad's membership
Hmm.
once,
Yeah.
and they wouldn't let him in, even though they had the same last name and everything.
Yeah.
And it was like a big, like they were like fully like out loud arguing with him in front of like all the people in Costco.
Bro,
It
I
was
think those people just take their job too seriously. Like, if you're arguing about like it's a Costco card, like they give it to them intentionally. You know what I'm saying? Like you're still gonna buy everything at Costco. It's not like you're like not gonna be like
yeah.
it's not like you're stealing or something. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But like I don't know. It's
Seriously.
like it's for families. I think that's OD.
I
I go
got
to the one
that.
at Chantilly.
That city card. You know what I'm saying? The
That's
credit
the
card.
shit.
And guess
Oh,
what? Guess what? Guess what? It says executive right there on the back.
oh shoot. When'd you get that? Is
When I
that
when
new
I moved
credit?
here. When I moved here,
Oh,
yeah.
actually?
Yeah, yeah.
Shoot. That's not
Is
new
that
credit.
one of the metal cards?
No, no, it's plastic.
No,
Broke.
that'd have been cool.
Would you
Broke.
say call me bro? That's
Broke.
crazy.
Wish you know what
Oh, it's not, bro. It's what is that?
it's a Metro card.
Oh.
I have never seen that. I just have the app for the Metro.
No, me too.
Okay, yeah, I still
Whatever. Because also I had to download the app once because I was in DC and I had my card and I lost it somewhere. Like I lost my Metro card. So I
Mhm.
just download the app because I don't want to buy another like I could go buy another card, but I feel like I was at a restaurant and I knew that I couldn't find it. Like I knew that I didn't have it at the time. So like while I was at the restaurant, I just started downloading the app and getting everything done. It was so tragic because I had so much money stored on that, you know, card.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
Like so much as in like at least like I would say like a good 20, 30, which is pretty,
yeah.
it's pretty good. But it happened a while ago. So I don't even, I mean, someone probably took it and like went all over the DMV with it, I guess. No,
Now that you live in DC, do you end up using the metro pretty often?
not really. I walk a lot of places because everything I need is pretty much walkable. Like I have a Trader Joe's, Whole Foods. I guess like there's a CVS like right down there. Like grocery stores. Yeah, I said that, but like restaurants and everything you need is pretty much already all here.
So
But
do you have a
I don't
car?
take the metro too much. I have a car here because I have a parking spot in the complex, right? So I have a car. So the only place I would really go is back to Nova because I go to Nova pretty often anyway, still. So yeah, I just go back and forth between like here and Nova. Today actually, so I just got back actually from Pennsylvania this weekend because I was at there was this like ending of the special week in Jainism called Pajushan yesterday. So I was at this ashram, right? So we were there, and then there was this whole like ceremony that was happening, like this like ending ceremony, and I was there for that, and then I saw Orion. So then I just came back to Nova today, because I slept over at Orion's place yesterday. So then came back today, was in Nova, and then it only took me I think 30 minutes today to get from DC, like Herndon to DC, which is actually pretty good. Like DC isn't like my place in DC, because usually it would take me around I want to say like 20 minutes from Herndon to the end of DC, but then when you get into DC, it's like another 20 minutes to get like where I need to be, which is like the U Street area.
Mhm.
So yeah, you'll see. You'll when you come to Nova, you'll see my place at some point.
Yeah, I'm down.
It's
U Street
cool.
is really nice. I went to I've only like been out to like a few bars in DC once in
Mhm.
the summer,
Mhm.
and I was on U Street, so
I
it's
see.
super cool.
I get that, dude. So you're coming back. This is kind of off topic, but like kind of going back to the whole thing about being captain, right? So me and Nico graduated, and you're the only person coming back to the road as a captain. And you're the only person that was there on leadership. Like with Rithik, I guess too, but Rithik wasn't a dancer. But you're the only person coming back from leadership to captaincy. What do you want to change? What did you learn last season? And like, what do you think changed? Like, what do you want to change this season in terms of your personal whole captaincy thing?
Okay. I think the biggest thing I learned last season is how important it is to work with the right people.
Hmm.
Like, I don't think last year was such a stretch that we even made it as far as we did.
Hmm.
And I think it's like solely because of that that team we had of us five. That
Yeah.
was like literally a dream team. Like I feel like we trusted each other on like a diff like even if we weren't captains, like us five like trusted each other to the point where we can like there's no like hate if we say some stupid idea in the chat. Like how many me and Rian must have bounced like 1,000 ideas off each other and half of them were so garbage. But there was like literally just like no like, oh, I'm scared what they might think. I think that's definitely crucial
Hmm.
for being able to go far.
Hmm.
And
So
then sorry, go
yeah,
ahead.
keep going. Keep going.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say like, so is that dynamic kind of did that translate over to this year, you think?
I think it did because like like it's a me, Vihan, Raghavom, Anane, and Inya.
Mhm.
And us five also, I think I'm pretty happy the way like we were already friends. I'm like I can say I'm individually friends with all of them, like
Mhm.
before this year started. And I think that's definitely crucial. Raghav Ohm's in California actually. I don't know if you guys yeah,
Yeah,
he's doing
yeah. He
they're
told
working a
us.
job there right now. Yeah, so that's definitely a big hit. But yeah, I mean he's still chirping in the group chat, but like it's good. It's not the same as last year, obviously, because we had like a whole year together and they are on the younger side for sure. But like it's still there. And so I definitely trust that we can do some good this year.
Mhm. Do you guys are you guys do what you guys say you're in a better spot at the beginning of this year versus the beginning of last year? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you're like 100%. Yeah.
That's not a high bar to hit,
I
honestly.
think
That's not a
that's
high bar to hit.
like the beginning of last year is some of the lowest lows we've ever hit.
Yeah.
Like before tryouts, oh my God. We had 8 people and like
I
half
was
of
I was gone. Like I wasn't even yeah.
yeah, you weren't
I
even
think
there.
Yeah,
Like,
this is around the time where I was like on the fence of coming back at all. So
mhm,
yeah. And
yeah,
you were also like pretty much gonna go.
yeah.
mhm.
I was gonna go alongside Sahil to
Yeah.
potentially probably join that Bunger team at
Hmm.
Virginia Tech. And then yeah, I guess we'll talk about that. So me and Nikhil, so Nikhil at this point, he quit in the summer because he had his whole thing with the master's program, which he talked about before.
Yeah, I
It's like
mean,
reasonably so, right? Because that's a whole thing that you got to figure out.
so this like at least my story with the team is like is something that we've talked about like extensively with everyone that we know
Mhm.
amongst us three as well. But I guess like the gist of it for the viewers um, is so out of everybody, out of us three, I've been on the team the longest, right? And I was last year the like one of the few remaining people, if not the only one, from when the team first started, and that started my end of my freshman year, so like 2020. This is like peak COVID, right when COVID started. Um, Around the time, and once the team was created, up until like the next 2 years ish, was more or less just us dicking around, right? There was never any like sort of agenda to anything. There was never any aspirations to anything. You know, there was never any understanding that we can go to competitions and actually compete and like actually place and for the most part just present ourselves in a you know actual dance team like we're for real type of way. Um, as time goes on, though, there was this sort of shift of like people who were there just for like shits and giggles, which is totally fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But it was almost half of them were there for that. The other half were like, let's do something with this, right? And it doesn't help that you have VT Bangra, VT Damal, and then even Janoon to an extent, all three of which were like very established teams and very for real about going to competitions and doing things. Um, and so naturally, when you have that divide of people, and I'm kind of pulling from the speech that I gave right before leaving a little bit here, but naturally, when you have that two different ideologies, two different groups, right? You're not going to go anywhere with that. You're not going to achieve anything with that. And so people are pissed off. And that third year that I was there was probably the worst because, and this is what Akashi was saying, where the team was like dead basically going into the last year. But that third year was essentially all of us trying this, right? All of us making an effort, whether we liked it or not, to go and try and create a set, create an actual dance team, do something with this, and go to a competition. And we went to KKJ, Knoxville Key, Jawani. Yes, yes, yeah. That first year, placed dead last, and it was already like a like well, I don't know why we made it. I'll be honest with you, like how they accepted us in the competition to begin with, but went there, embarrassed ourselves like badly on that stage, placed last, um, and then thought we were like cool because of it too. You know, like that entire weekend, we were definitely like the life of that competition. We were like the most loud and like rambunctious, and everybody was like, you know, before actually competing, everyone's like, wow, like, hey, they're cool, you know? And then we competed and they're like, oh, they're a bunch of idiots, you know? So um, it was after that where everything was, that's where it like all fell off a cliff, realistically. I think everybody, you know, that cared, everybody was like, why are we doing this? Um, if it's never going to progress past that point, and if people are not serious about it, and if the individuals that want to do it aren't serious, like aren't doing everything that they can to make sure that everybody is about it, then like there's no point being there. And that was the mentality as well, by the way. Um, but to like what you were saying, Rihanna, about my master's program and everything, like a master's degree is hard, you know. Um, Me finishing up bachelor's after that point, um, and then going into the master's year over that summer before the last year started, it was like a realization of like, dude, this matters way more than whatever the fuck I got going on with this team, right?
No.
And I needed to pour everything into that. Um, and those of you who have watched episode 0 know the whole story with the Masters thing, and that was all happening concurrently with this too. So it was a lot of different things going on up here. Um, it worked out in the end though, which is honestly the craziest story. Like it's the
Yeah.
craziest story you could ever like imagine because team was chalked for sure in like August, September time. And I think we owe it a lot to the newbies that we got. And Akash, half of the people you mentioned as far as captains now were newbies at one point. Anana and I believe are the two, right? So
Yeah.
um we owe a lot to them coming back and like trying out and actually being people that number one loved being on Varode and loved taking the title of being on Varode. Like they loved putting it in their Instagram bios and stuff like that. But number two, they were very committed to this cause as well, right? They wanted to go, and you could definitely see like the amount of effort that they put in, right? And that internally was like everything I ever wanted from this team, and it was finally happening, right? And that's what made me come back at the end of the day. because like this was finally the opportunity for us to actually do something with it, and we had seemingly the right people. Yeah, super young kids, like freshman kids who don't really, fully understand the scope of it when they're trying out, and it's all like kind of deer in headlights type of thing. But
Yeah.
it's better
And
than anything we've ever had in the past, right? So
I definitely think so. And
yeah.
like I think what you're saying is like a lot of the reason why I wanted to come back too. So my story not nearly as like in depth as Nikhil's, because he's been on the team for so long. That year he's talking about KKJ was the first year I was there. And dude, I remember like being so bad. Like I remember being so bad at first. And Akash is actually it's so I hate saying this now because like this dude calls me his son and everything because, fuck you. But he took me under his wing, like taught me like dance, like outside of practice and stuff like that. But you like kind of like fall in love with the sort of thing about like the art and stuff, you know what I'm saying? So like I was kind of obsessing over it. And I wanted to become better and I became better individually. Of course, like I'm not the best or nothing like that, but I think I took my strides into becoming better like a dancer, like as much as everyone else on the team did. And after like knowing and learning about like DDN and stuff like that, especially with Sujit being on a really good dance team, Origins that just won that same year, like I realized like, yo, this is kind of crazy. Like you get an opportunity to, you know, throw yourself into this craft and perform on a stage where there's like thousands of people watching you. And it's a sport at the end of the day, right? It's a sport. It's a you're competing for something that's as big as that, you know? And I our team was supposed to be in that competitive space, but I never saw our team at that point. But I could see this team like a Bunga or VT the Mall or Janoon at that point maybe. Um, so that's why I wanted to go to Bunga because I don't know anything about the mall like Ross or anything. And Bunga I knew some things about, and I knew they were really good, like nationally pretty known, you know. So I wanted to compete on that stage. And I was gonna follow Sahil along because he was gonna do Bunga no matter what, whether Varel was bad or not. Like that's his favorite dance style, and he did really well with it too. Like he was on comp team and everything. Like he um he showed out what he could do over at Bunga. And I wanted to leave. I didn't want to leave the fusion circuit because I think the concept of creating something is super cool. Um, and like a story, right? A set. And when I heard Nikhil was leaving, left, because in my eyes, like I'm not trying to glaze, but like in my eyes, I only saw like Nikhil as that person that was on the team to be that leader to like push us forward. And when I heard he left, I saw absolutely no direction in the team. So I was a foot out the door. I was 99% gone. I couldn't trust anybody with the road team. But then when I heard he was coming back, and right after this was after newbies tried out, like when he was officially coming back as a dancer and stuff. Again, those new people, those rookies that came in helped a lot for me to stay. And then Nikhil coming back as that leader helped me stay, and like that kind of strengthened it. And then I guess, Akash, giving me the opportunity to be a captain on that team, like be like a leader on that team, helped me even more because I know if I was gonna be on the dance team, I want to be the person that's like heading that change, heading that charge, alongside like you and like Nikhil and AK and Raghav, So I think it's so great that I stayed, because again, like I love the fusion circuit. Nothing wrong with Bunga or nothing, but I love that fusion circuit. And I don't know. I think about that, like how close I was to leaving, how I pretty much was going to leave. It went from like a person leaving to becoming captain. And it was like, it's crazy. And we ended up getting like a trophy out of it too at the best competition that we went to, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I remember talking to Akash about me potentially leaving because I remember I was in the parking lot with him. Do you
Yeah,
remember that story?
Oh
I
my
do. Three
gosh.
for three. Yeah.
Yeah, 343. We were outside 343. I'm just like, I'm probably gonna leave. What was going on through your mind at that point in time? Because you were captain at this point. You can't leave. I don't know if you had any sort of inclination to leave or anything.
Well, so I guess really quick, how did you? I honestly still don't know, like how you got to captaincy
Yeah,
because
how did you become
this
captain?
was around the time that I had dipped, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I remember I left in like, oh shoot, how did, like I think okay, and in the beginning of August that summer I was going to India, and I was like over the summer, I kind of like I do this thing where I just don't talk to people like during the summer. And I stick with my family and I stick with my brother and I close myself off, right? I don't even know why I just do it. But over the summer, I was like sitting there and thinking about everything, like how much it sucked, like how much the team was like just falling apart and everything. And I was like, yeah, I've had enough. So I texted that chat with everybody and I was like, yeah, guys, master's degree is hard. Like I'm done. I didn't say that I didn't like it. Like I just did not include that. But I definitely like I cited the master's degree as the reason. Like I just can't do it, blah, blah, blah. Hit sent, got on the flight to India, and then fucked off, for like 3 weeks. Um, and I think this is around the time y'all like took care of things. So how did that happen from your end then, Akash? I'd love to hear that. Like I've never heard that perspective.
So, okay, let me tell the whole story going back to like from the beginning because it's like a long story basically. So this is I'm gonna start freshman year, like the end of freshman year. This was after that first year that we're talking about where we like pretty much embarrassed ourselves. We were fun, but we like embarrassed ourselves. And so at the end of that year in the summer, this was like me, Raghav, and then like we were younger kids, we were the younger kids, right? So there was like that whole push for us to like join board, get more involved in Vero. And so I honestly did not really care for it because my that freshman year, I never really practiced. Like it was just like a thing to make friends, honestly. Like I did not care about dance like at all. And then Harshil, one of the old captains, he texted me about applying to junior captain because there's a junior captain role. And then I was like honestly, I don't want to. There's a lot of work and stuff like that. And I think when they made that junior captain role, they only really had that role in mind because they wanted me to come on junior captain. Because they had like some kind of like weird feeling that they just did not want you to be junior captain, Nikhil.
No, and there was reasons for that.
Yeah.
The biggest reason was because I was coming back, or they
Yeah.
didn't know if I was doing the master's degree or not.
Right.
So after my senior year, it was still a question mark whether or not I was done at Virginia Tech or not. That was the biggest thing.
You remember that we had that meeting in that classroom and they said that rule that like if you're not a
Yep.
sophomore or younger, you can't
He
come.
looked he
And
looked dead in my eye when he said that too. I remember it so
every single
well.
person in the room was like what the fuck? Every
Yeah.
single person was like, nah, never mind. No, no, no. And
Mhm.
we like definitely voiced it. Um, but yeah, so then he would try convincing me. It's like one thing, when like imagine if like when you said you can't do the captaincy, then or like a growth in general, then imagine like me trying to convince you to like please just come on, think about this, you can do this, that, versus me just being like, okay, I understand. Like there's definitely a big difference. And then I saw that he's trying to actively convince me. So I think tell like they really wanted me to be a junior captain at that point, but I just like honestly did not care enough about it. So I just said no. And then I interviewed for comp chair, and it was me versus Raghav, and I did not take my interview seriously at all. Like they wanted me to wear a suit in the interview, but I came on in like a wife beater or t-shirt or something. And then like so mid interview, I just turned the camera off and threw a jacket on, and then I turned my camera back on. Like I was just having fun. Like I did not take it seriously. And they gave that role to Raghav, and then sophomore year came, and that year you were junior captain or captain, Nico?
That's a great question.
Yeah, you were
I don't
something.
I don't think anyone knew. Yeah.
Yeah, literally nobody
No
knew.
one knew. Yeah.
But yeah, that year like pretty much sucked. And then I just got like a lot of ego. Like my ego is pretty high, honestly, I can't lie. Because I was like, I don't care about this dance thing, but I'm still pretty good, right? But then like I got like a few hits that season. One of the hits was not being a lead. So Shrieker, this other guy who used to be captain, who's also still here, he I was supposed to be, I think, Doofenshmirtz with the lab coat and everything.
Yeah.
But that practice where he announced it, I was at UVA because I think India Day or they had some event like University of Virginia. And me and Raghav were on the way back and I texted him. I was like, yo, I'm gonna be late. And he said, you can't miss this practice, you can't be late. And I was like, I'm gonna be late. I can't like teleport this car. And then he's like, okay, you're not lead anymore. And so I ended up not being the lead. And I think he was the double lead. He like, took his calcium off and then put that jacket on. But that was definitely a hit to my ego. I was like, damn, I'm like not even a lead on this team that I thought I was really good at. And then again going on stage, and I felt like when we were performing that year, that was the year we got I think last again, or like second to last or last again. That was Rihan's first year. When I was on stage, like the entire time I was thinking like this is not like it's not like interesting, it's not like intriguing, it's not challenging. I was pretty much just going through the motions so hard on that stage. And like I would like look across and see everyone else make mistakes that we've talked about before, but it was like I don't think it even went through their mind because no one took it seriously. So it just like seemed like the most unserious performance ever on my end.
No,
And
and it was everybody. It wasn't just you. It was
yeah,
everybody.
yeah, I think everyone had that feeling.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like talking to Raga like mid thing. I was like, "Hey,
Mid
how you doing, buddy?" Like it was so
It was
unstable.
so bad, dude. And I remember this, dude. Okay, the one part of the performance when like the lights went out and it was red backdrop, and that was
Yeah.
the child drop of the performance. I remember we were so happy about it when we saw that. We were like, yo, like, oh my, dude, we're so good. Like we're like we're amazing, right? And then like a cool like maybe hour goes by, and then we get last, and then a cool month goes by after that, and then everybody hates that specific point in the entire thing because
Mhm.
like okay, it looks cool, but if we're looking at like rubrics and like judging, which is what we should be looking at if we want to be a good team, um they can't see us, dude. Like we turned off the lights, and now like what do you expect? You can't see anybody on that stage. It's just red now.
It
Which
was
is,
we thought it was the coolest thing ever.
dude, we thought we were the shit. I remember this so well.
I think we thought like the point of doing a child drop was to feel cool, not actually look good doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And, okay, I'm thinking I might just share my screen. I'm pulling up the video right now
Mm-hmm.
in 2020.
Oh, yo, please. I think the people need to know this,
Dude,
bro.
this is a first sharing our
Sharing our
podcast.
screens. Yeah.
Wow.
Or not Fusion. What was
Look
that
at
called?
this, man. He's just breaking all the rules. This is amazing. Wow.
Love to see
Trying to
it,
find
man. I'm
our
saying try
video. I
new
can't even
things.
find it.
Dude. I
Damn,
remember
Did,
being so
did we
mad.
scrub it off the internet? I hope we scrubbed it off the internet.
we
I don't,
honestly.
I don't want nobody to see that.
Oh, I found it. Never mind, I found it.
Oh
Okay,
my
never mind.
gosh. Dude, okay, I'm cool with this. I'm cool showing it because I was not in that part. You know, I will say I was pretty upset that I was not in this bunker segment.
Yeah.
But to be fair, I was also when we tried off what I was terrible. So I completely understand.
Wait, I mean that's you right there, ain't it? Oh wait, no, this is before.
Yeah, can you guys see?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
This is the lovely Riyan right here.
Yeah.
And
Oh, that is. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's his name.
this is the
Wow.
role
Okay.
that
Cool.
I should have
Cool.
been. This is the lead
Cool.
that I should have been. Nikhil. Oh, you're not in the segment, Nikhil?
I think I'm back.
Right here. Yeah, that's you. Right here.
No, that's Sahil.
No.
That's
Oh, it
definitely
is
Sahil. I'm next to him. I'm far right.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah.
yeah.
All right, let's see. This is what we're talking about. Okay, we got to tell
You
the
passed. You
story,
passed
like
it. You passed it.
Right there.
Yeah,
It's
right
right
there. Right there.
we got to tell the story about the backdrop after this, the question marks.
Oh my gosh. Oh
Look at this
my
shit, bro. Look
gosh,
at this
dude.
shit.
The sync was the
Dude,
question marks,
and
bro.
the question marks
This is
to
like
this
not
day,
good.
the question marks are the funniest thing I've ever been asked to do. Okay.
Please tell the story, please.
Okay. So I made so this was like the first ever contribution that I made as far as like backdrop or video or anything. Like I had no experience, like the short films and everything as far as TikTok and everything weren't happening at this point, right? This was all just me like memeing and getting stupid ass followers for all that. But I made the backdrop for this, and I did it just because like I was on the team and everything, and they didn't have to pay anybody, right? So, and I happened to be decent at it. Got through the entire portion, and Akash, if you just like click at random spots in the video real quick, you'll see like in the back it's just, or if you so like this portion was the balloony part, and so I just put that back there, and then what I did was like this was like the I don't even know what this was, bro. I just put some random
Yeah,
emoji
so
back there.
it was a South segment. That's all I remember.
Yeah. So, okay, point is, this backdrop and everything is supposed to relate to what's happening in the story in the set, right? And so we get to this, like, we get to that point where it goes black and everything. And I think collectively, like, the story just didn't make any sense up until this point, right? And we were trying, and the story had changed multiple times to this point because we kept having people like not perform and perform. We have people like not coming to KKJ, come to KKJ. Leads were changing. Like your lead section was changing and shit. So nobody knew what was going on in the story at this point, which is so stupid. It's Phineas and Ferb, bro. Like follow an episode.
Yeah,
go watch
that
an
simple.
episode. But like this was all being, and there's deadlines to submit all of this because obviously you have to submit the MP4 file, the video file, to the competition so they can put it on the screen, right? And so this is like the day before that it's due. And by the way, our intro video had not been submitted to this point after. The intro video was submitted a day after the due date, which is hilarious. And that's another story. But I was like I was in Tord Bridge, okay, which is the big bridge in Virginia's campus that everybody knows about. I was there doing I was just studying. It was like 8 p.m. I get a text from Shrieker and he's like, "Yo, dude, we gotta just change this portion because like we had someone drop. I forget what the reason was, but we have to change it." I'm like, "All right, like what do you want me to do? Like who's in the set? Who's gonna be on stage at this point?" And he's like, we don't know. Like nobody knows. I'm like, "Oh, okay, like what do you want me to put here?" And then he was like, this is supposed to be like we can make this like a nobody knows what's going on type of thing, and then everything's okay afterwards, right? So like the segment before is like one specific thing, and then everybody comes on stage and it's supposed to be like a fight scene, but like I can't do parry and Doofenshmirtz, and I was like, I don't know what to do. Like, what do you want me to do? So I genuinely didn't know, and I think the point was that nobody was supposed to know. So I just threw some question marks on the back of the screen
Because
to be like,
nobody
"Oh
knew.
shoot, like what's happening?" You know, the crowd is supposed to be like, "What's happening?" Like in a good way, but the crowd was like, "What's happening?" in a bad way because nobody knew what the fuck was going on,
I think even we
Because
were like,
no,
what is happening? Like we don't know what's happening.
because
dude.
I don't. None of us saw the like the backdrop or like the background video or the intro video
Mhm.
before even performing. Like no, like nobody on our team saw that.
No, because it was so close to the deadline that like we just had to submit something, you know?
Because I think I didn't notice the question. I didn't notice anything in the backdrop. I guess I wasn't looking at that because I'm looking at the dancers.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't know the back. I didn't notice the backdrop until like you pointed it out. I'm just like, that's crazy. That's a crazy story. That the because you don't know the don't know like symbol is a question mark. You don't know, like nobody on the team knows. The audience doesn't know. So by
No,
default, let's just put a question mark because we don't know. That's some crazy logic right there.
dude, at the end of the day, that question mark symbolizes how little I knew about what the fuck was going on in the entire. That is literally we were so down bad that we didn't know what was happening in our own set, and we were like, okay, what if we just make everybody not know in the entire set? That way, we are all in the same page.
I would say I guess it worked out in the end, but it didn't
No, it
because
didn't.
we
It
got
didn't.
last. So yeah, we yeah, no way.
Yeah.
Wait, so going back to this whole thing, right? How did you become captain?
Yeah,
Like,
sorry. I got off topic. Yeah.
no,
Okay.
you're good, you're
So,
good.
yeah, this year ended. I don't even know how we got to here, but this year ended, right?
Mhm.
Then over the summer, it was or before the year end, it was after this competition we have some time before the summer starts. And so during that time, I was like on the fence of if I would want to join the team again because I was like the same things you guys were kind of talking about, like this was kind of a train wreck. And then once like I officially decided to stay eventually, but it was to me it was either like I do this and I actually do it, or I'm not doing it at all. Like I was done doing like the half in, half out kind of thing. Because I would see people like that started worse than me and then just skyrocket to better than me. Because I was not trying, basically. I wasn't putting enough time into it. I was like half-assing it. So it was either like I'm all in or I'm just not doing it. And I decided to go all in. And so I think my role at first was choreo chair. That's how because we never had that role either. We just named a choreo chair or like choreo coach or something. Oh, Coach Cash. I was Coach Cash.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was.
Bring that back, bro. Those are days.
That was hype. But I was a Coach Cash. And then all was like okay over the summer. We were like supposed to do a lot more. We didn't really do a whole lot. And then we get that text from Nikhil. And that was like my heart sunk down into like the bottom of my belly. Like it was crazy. And as soon as we got that text, I got on a call with I think Shrieker, AK, and maybe a few other people. I don't remember. And we were like, what is happening? And so pretty much 5 minutes after he sent that text, he was Shrieker was like, okay, Akash, your captain. I was like, oh, okay. So
So
it
you
pretty
just
much
took it.
yeah, I was like, whatever.
Oh.
But yeah, that happened. And then that was a pretty like from then on, that was pretty bad for Varose. Like just like a pretty like who's actually on the team right now? Because the captains I think were me, AK, and Shrieker, and then Shrieker was in like Europe. And so really it's just me and AK, and neither of us had ever been captain before. So we were like, okay, well, I mean, no, I don't even know what's happening. And then so the school year started. This was before tryouts. It was that first practice we had, I think, on top of Perry. We got you a champagne bottle
Yep. Yep.
that practice, and I saw the numbers and I was like, okay, everyone else is thinking the same thing. Like, what are we doing here? So I tried my best to like give a speech at the end of practice, like, yo, like believe in me and we'll take you there. I didn't
You
have
were you were
that's why.
committed as well, by the way. I remember the words you were using.
Yeah,
Like you were like, yeah, I'm totally with this. This is like
yeah,
you said you're gonna make this your life. I remember that well.
I those
yeah,
exact words, bro. Like I'm
Yep.
gonna make growth my life. I
Yep.
think. I mean, those are pretty powerful words. Words.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think
yeah.
that's
I
what
tried to like
stuck
throw
to a
like
lot of
everything
people.
I needed into there, but yeah, that's the story of how I became captain, and then just kind of been on since then.
Went on from there. Okay, I see how that. Did you expect like me and like Raghav coming on like as the people in leadership ever? Okay.
Like literally not at all.
So how did that happen as well? Because a lot of this a lot of the stuff before me coming back is still hazy to me. Is
Mhm. So I guess
Kind
I
of
mean I
hazy,
guess you can fill in the gaps, Akash.
right?
Um, for me though, it was I didn't want to be part of this if I can make a difference myself. Because if I'm going to trust somebody to make a difference, I might as well trust myself. Like I think I can do that. Like at least like how Akash is saying, right? Like make that sort of thing my priority and go forward in that. So I wanted to make a difference on the leadership front, the like execution sort of front. So I told them like, hey, I kind of want to be in this captaincy role, right? And then there was this whole thing about like, oh, like the captain, like the title of it, I can't do it or nothing like that. So I mean, I wasn't captain at first, but like pretty much after, I would say like after, like during and after AV is when I just pretty much became captain.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw it the same way.
No,
Okay.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I did.
That's the kind of way it went down. Because I mean, I didn't get the role because in my eyes, right? I don't care what the title I had was as long as people knew that I was trying to make this difference, right? And people did know that. I think people like regarded me as captain anyway. And I'm just like, you know what? Like if people see it this way, then I'm cool with it. And at the end of the year, at the end of the year, I'm just going to declare myself as captain to like leave as that captain. So I can say that I was because I think I would be selling myself like a little short if I didn't. Also, it's a little bit of an ego thing too. Like I don't want to leave as coach when I think I put immense, like
you
a
did you
crazy
did
amount of work, you know what I'm saying? A
Yeah,
crazy,
and
crazy
we
amount of
I
work.
referenced this earlier, but it's like you should be actively referring yourself as captain going forward, whatever we talk about, bro, because you did put in that way more actually, like
Hmm.
almost way more than the like requisite amount of work to be
Yeah.
called a captain.
Hmm.
You hit that like tenfold easily.
Yeah, I definitely appreciate that because no, it took a lot of work. I mean, I was with you two specifically a lot, like logistically wise, me and Akash making choreo, like, dude, when me and you were making choreo, bro, like first time me and you ever did this, right? You were on the
Yeah.
team for 2 years, I'm on the team for one, and we're making choreo, bro. We never got taught how to do anything.
Ever. We just threw a bunch of shit that looked cool together.
Yeah. And we thought it was cool. I mean,
It was, it
at the time it
was.
was, but we
I
had to
mean,
workshop a lot of it
yeah,
afterward.
naturally, like yeah,
Definitely.
exactly. Everything,
Yeah.
all of the choreo that you guys came up with was for more. I mean, for damn near every piece, if we're really looking at this, was
Mhm.
like you guys had the basis of it somewhere,
Mhm.
and you guys had thought about the basis at the very, granted, like a
Yeah.
lot of these pieces change so much, but that's just how it
Right.
goes, right?
Yeah.
But I don't, yeah, without you guys doing the baseline choreo, like nobody was going to take that initiative, you know?
Mhm.
I like me specifically, I just didn't have the confidence. Like I was not good at choreo,
Yeah.
100%. Like I just not going to do it because I know everything that I was going to make was going to be ass, 100%.
I think we both thought the same thing at that point too. Like we have no
Yeah.
idea how to do this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess
Even now, like I'm not even confident in my choreo skills now.
I
Like
was
when
gonna say like
yeah.
it's something along those lines, right? Going into this season, you were captain. So this year we did something different. We voted. I guess last at the end of last year we voted on who's captain. We never did that before,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
You're in captaincy this year, right? Um, like I guess I already asked like what are you gonna do differently and stuff. But were you excited? Because you said you weren't exactly super excited. You kind of accepted it, but were you excited coming into this year? You know?
Yeah. I mean, I think that was just kind of in the beginning. Oh, sorry, I still have the
The
chat pulled up and I just see like everyone smiling like this. It's so like it's so random.
oh my gosh, bro,
But
what a year.
yeah, no, it was I think in the beginning when I first just kind of took it, it's because I had no idea what being captain meant. And now after an entire year of like knowing what captain means, I'm now I'm excited. Like, like I'm ready. I'm not going into this without like not knowing what I'm gonna do. Like I know what I'm doing. And so I don't know, it's definitely more daunting now that I know how much work goes into it.
Mhm.
But I trust the people I'm working with. So
Yeah,
hopefully it can end up not
yeah.
letting us all down. You know what I
So I guess a question that stems from that, right?
mean?
Um, naturally, I think the last year, right? The last year that we had, was probably the most growth that we've seen from within this team. Um, Starting from basically nothing and going to a trophy winning team is inherently a crazy, crazy feat that nobody thought, right? Inherently, all three of us experienced, specific growth within that, right? Me being a little bit senior, I hate saying that, but me being um, probably at the tail end of that whole experience that I had, it definitely felt like I was more like the figurehead of this team, right? And it was very much like I felt a lot of responsibility to be like the best that I could be, but also do it for everybody else. And I know Rian, you felt the exact same thing because we've talked about this as well. And even though you weren't on the team for like you were only on the team for the 2 years, that happened like almost to the same level as me. So number one, Akash, do you have that now? Where you do feel like that responsibility to be that like that very much that leader, like to be that guy of the team. But number two, do you think now that there's expectations of this team to like perform and to place, let's be honest with ourselves, right? Do you think it's harder to keep experiencing that growth that we worked really hard for the last year with the expectations that are there now? Do you think we'll still be able to achieve that, or is it going to be inherently harder with the coming year?
Those are definitely really good questions. I'm at like an interview, but yeah, that first.
Because I thought about this. Okay.
No, no, yeah, it's all valid questions. I think I over the summer when I or like even before when I said I wanted to be captain, I did a little like actual thought into it. Like, what if I want to be captain? What do I want to be as captain? Because we all have the same name, captain, but it's like low-key different roles, what each person really does. And I think I realized, even as captain, even as the old guy here, I'm not like the best way for me to help the team isn't to be the guy like in everyone's face, that main guy. I think my best way to help the team is kind of be like up there, but supporting other people. Because like I never like I'm not a huge like leader kind of person. I think I like the idea of just being like being able to help with the leadership and then just going on stage and kind of doing my thing. Because I'm not like I'm not like the most organized. I forget when we have practice sometimes, stuff like that. So I don't think I'm the right person to be like I'm the one texting everyone, yo, schedule this time, practice this time, choreo right here.
But I tell you what, Anane is though, because I see it.
He
like,
really is. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I wish I could
Yeah.
show you out the player if y'all aren't in it, but he's like,
I'm still in it. I still see all of it.
oh,
Yeah,
you do see the
You're still in
announcements?
it?
I'm still in
They
it. I
kicked me
mean,
out.
like I'm technically still a board member, so like I see all of it.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. And that with like Anane and Vihan too, like both two people that we knew going to be like organized people.
Very
And
organized.
Anane being that leadership, along with like you and Vihan, but Vihan being more so like organized, like on top of his thing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I guess do
No,
you
I think them being in person, like they're both kind of that person to like be in your face and like take that mantle and be like, yeah, this is what's happening right now. So I'm
yeah,
pretty glad that they're
that's dope, man. That's dope. I feel like they were good, like, because they're good votes, voting in. I feel like it's a process that, I mean, it depends on what you guys decide to use or do carrying going on, carry forward. I know that me and Nikhil wanted to do this at least for that 1 year that we were there because we were still in control of those things. But I think it's a great thing to do because you're electing people to be a representative for your organization, your own organization. So to be electing those people, I think needs to be representative of the whole.
Yeah,
So
and you have a better chance of getting it right at the end of the day too. That's the
yeah,
biggest thing,
yeah,
rather than having that. This is just democracy that we're talking about right now.
yeah.
But when you have the pick of the majority, there's
Mhm.
a higher chance for that person being the right pick, right?
Yeah.
And so I think I'm not gonna say the voting numbers because I think I was the only one that saw it. I might have shown Rihanna.
It was me, you, Rithik. I think that was
Yeah, I
us.
think it was us three.
Yeah.
But it was pretty definite. Like with the people that was picked,
Mhm.
I think it was some combination of you four, but it was you four,
Yeah.
like in whatever order it was. So
Yeah.
I think that says a lot. It says a lot about the people that we picked, right, or that were picked by the entirety of the team.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like what the people want too.
Yeah,
I think it was very surprising that I don't think we realized like Anane's literally been on the team for 1 year and then became captain. That has
Yeah.
only happened to one person being Shrieker, and that's because there wasn't even a
And
voting.
Rion.
Like
That one other guy. Yeah. Yeah.
one other guy also named Rian, right? But like that's like elite company. So very happy for him. Very good for him.
Yeah. Look, man, Akash, I feel like you're gonna take this team to different heights, different places, but I appreciate you
Um,
being on. We have some fire like get to know Akash questions. Saying this. We're trying to have like more of a structure. At least I want to have more of a structure during these podcasts a little bit. At least when we have guests on. So I guess you're like a guinea pig trial run. Also, like when you come on next or whatever, we can do whatever, right?
right.
But
Get it.
we have like only like so much time left because we want to keep it within like an hour, maybe a little bit
Yeah.
more, right? You got the timer on?
I got this time right here because we got practice after this. So
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
Would
think
you
we're
rather
like we're almost, dude. I think you hit it again. I think we're
I
at
hit
like
it
50.
again?
This got to be like 57, 58 or
I'm
something
so
like
good at
that.
this, bro. But I'm getting worse a little every time. I was 59, 58, now I'm 57. It's cool, it's cool. But you and Rithik both got a dog your sophomore year, right? So this was 2 years ago.
correct.
Explain your thought process in doing this and what made you decide to do it. But what happens after you both graduate? Because you guys might be going in different directions. So what happens? Also,
So
shout out Gobi.
I don't know if y'all could hear him. He's like whining outside my door to come in. Did
Oh,
you?
really? Oh,
Can
we
you hear
can't we can't hear that. No.
him? He's like, let me let him in real quick.
Yeah, let him in. Let the people know who what Gobi looks like.
Come, sit up. Everyone, this is Gobi.
No.
No, that's adorable.
He has separation anxiety, so whenever I like close the door on him, he's like gonna wanna come in. Um, but yeah, so the basically we did like he was talking about getting a dog for his family,
Mhm.
and we talked about it maybe once or twice before getting Gobi. Not like us getting one, just him wanting a dog in general.
Yeah.
And then this is like a random day in winter, like right before winter break. We just went to UCB to get lunch, like that the university mall at school,
Mhm.
and there was a kill shelter. And basically, what that means is like they need to get rid of the dogs in like a day or two, or else they'll have to be euthanized because there's not enough resources.
Mhm.
And we saw the litter, and they were just like insanely adorable, essentially. And so we were like, all right, let's do it.
You
Like pretty
just
much no thought behind it, yeah.
I feel like that's a very much a spur of the moment sort of thing.
Yeah, that's like that's a I feel like a dad sometimes. So it's like a very much spur of the moment. But yeah, we just did it and then right after that we went to Food Line or Kroger, got a bunch of supplies. Realized it's pretty expensive to have a dog because we had to buy like dog food is expensive by the way. One of those bags of dog food's like 60 $70 for the good
Wow.
kind.
How big is the bag? Like
It's like
few
good like
kilograms?
30, 40 pounds because
Okay.
you want to have good amount of food for them, but it's expensive. And so we got that like a dog bed, dog toys, bowls. That was expensive, an expensive run.
Mhm.
And then so the thing with me is I have pets at home already, but neither of them are very I have a cat and a dog at home, or I had, and then neither of them are very friendly to other pets. So when I called my mom and told them, or I told her, she was like, what are you talking about? Like, how's that gonna work? And so I was like pretty nervous taking him home. And so the way it works right now when we go home for the summer, because like we're here together, it's fine. But then we go home for the summer, we can't. Like, we don't live like right next to each other. So it's
Mhm.
more like whoever can hold him at the moment.
Mhm.
But it's more often at Rithik's house than my house, which I'm thankful for. And it's just because I have my cat and dog, and they both like, or I have my cat now. Hercules passed away, but my
I'm
cat
sorry.
he does not fuck with Gobi at all. They fight like every single time he comes.
Really?
He like
Also,
my cat is like 10 pounds or like maybe less, but he beats up Gobi, like beats him up.
Oh.
oh, that's
Yeah,
that's kind of crazy. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah. I
But
mean,
I
it's
guess
just
it
like
kind of works out that it's at Ritik's house more because he said like his family wants like a dog.
yeah, yeah,
Or it, I meant Gobi. I didn't mean it. Sorry, I didn't mean to call Gobi an it. But Gobi, I'm glad that he's at like Ritik's house and family like
yeah.
often there
It ended
too.
up working out. And then I think the other question, how we're gonna manage it after, we honestly haven't talked too much about it, but like. Rithik's like the perfect kind of person to get like a dog with because I know like we trust each other to the sense where like whoever can have him, we'll get him, and then we'll like obviously bounce off each other, and we're locked in now. Me and Rithik have to be friends for the next like 10 years.
Yeah, you guys have to be. This is that's like
Yeah,
a
no choice.
locking sort of arrangement that you guys have going on.
We thought about getting a like a family portrait done with like me, Rithik, and Gobi.
You should like make it
Oh.
the what's that Step Brothers
Oh
thing?
yeah,
You guys should do Step Brothers. I think I've seen so many things like that, like two people and a dog, like Step
yeah,
Brothers
yeah,
like
yeah.
portrait.
No,
The
yeah,
first thing that comes to mind, bro.
yeah. He's grown a lot. He was like this big when we got him. Now he's like
What?
yeah, literally this big. I gotta find a picture one time. I don't got any here,
Ah,
but
that's
he's like
crazy.
literally this big, like fit in my hand. And when we got him back, we didn't have any food. Like he wasn't eating his dry food, so we just got a can of Pringles and we just opened them up and he was munching on them. Like to look from then to now, he got like a whole like collar, air tag. He gets like manicure sometimes, like chops his nail off, everything.
Oh my gosh.
Huge
He's
trainer.
massive now, right?
He is like 55 pounds. Yeah.
Wow, bro. That's crazy to
He
go from
has
like
the
in your
energy of
palm.
yeah, he has the craziest energy too.
Dang, man. Dang. I guess it's been over an hour.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, now, yeah.
Dang. Well, I feel like we'll get you on again, Akash, for
We
sure.
got
Can we
more to
get
talk
through like how,
You'll be that cat kind of guest on our podcast,
can
Maybe
we
after
get
you
through like
graduate,
any other
we'll talk
questions you
about
had?
say that again?
How many more questions do you have ready? Because
Dude,
we
I
feel
have
like
like a whole like a lot about the first part of my agenda was just talking about Varode and like the dynamic of like our relationship. Then I have
Mhm.
like two other sections that's like more than half the page.
Yeah.
But like it was like get to know you, Akash. I can like I was gonna one of the questions was what do you get when you go to the barber? Yeah,
Trying to see
because we
what's
talked
up.
about the barber thing last time. I think it's important. I think it's important for people to know what kind of
Uh,
haircuts to get.
I'll answer this as quick as I can.
Okay,
My
okay.
barber here lives in
Huh.
Christiansburg. My boy, Mahmoud. I don't even ask him for like a specific haircut. I just say, taper or fade and just do your works. And he gets it.
Wow.
He gets it done. Like that's it. That's it. That's wraps. Like,
That's how much I trust him. Like, I always got like a
but
decent
you go to
haircut.
the
See?
same person every time.
Yeah. Whenever I'm
Okay,
here,
then
he's like,
yeah. So you guys, how long does it take for your haircut?
it's a haircut and conversation. So probably like 45 minutes.
Okay,
For
that's
her.
fair. That's how it'd be with like conversations with the haircuts and stuff.
Yeah.
I
I
feel
think
like
that's
yeah, dude. I feel like I went to this one barbershop over in like Herndon, and they spend so much time on the sides, but they don't. They're scared of touching the top. Like they don't touch the top because they're like I swear they're scared of it. Like they don't want to like mess up any of the like the volume or anything of
yeah.
that part. Dude. Okay, I won't ask you everything because it's like a
Right. Yeah.
like
Yeah.
long one. But one of the questions I wanted to ask you was if you were to meet someone famous like right now, like within the next like this exact moment, 3 seconds, like let's just say it's like Drake. You know what I'm saying?
No, not
What are you
Drake.
doing?
Let
Dude,
me
you know
think.
I say Drake? Dude, a while ago, right? This is like years ago. I used to tell my friends like I don't know why this was a thing, bro, but like I used to think about like almost on a daily basis. Like, because I was in Blacksburg, right? I'd be like, bro, what would I do if Drake was here right now? Because I'm not gonna lie, I would not say like, oh my God, it's Drake, yo, it's Drake. I would be like, Drake, what are you doing here? Like, it's Blacksburg, Virginia. Like, why are you here? I would be like, yo, like, respect it to your music and everything, but like, I guess not. I mean, I'm Team Kendrick and everything, but like, I guess that's what I would say now. I mean, if I saw him now, like I'm in DC, like I guess it's a city. Like if I saw him on the street, I guess it's kind of like cool. I was like shout out Kendrick though. That's what I would say. But like,
No, you
I,
wouldn't. You wouldn't say that.
I mean, I
There's
probably
no
wouldn't
way.
actually. You know
There's
what I'm
no way
saying?
you'd see Drake and say shout out Kendrick, bro. You
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 would
get
not say that.
you
No, I
get
wouldn't.
beat the
No,
fuck up.
I wouldn't be glazing him though. You know what I'm saying? I feel like
No, no,
I
yeah,
wouldn't glaze him anymore. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
But I would think about
Yeah.
that like almost on the day. Like I would just be in class, like in the lecture hall, be like, man, I'll look at the seat next to me and be like, what if Drake was right there? Like, I'd be so confused. I'd be so confused. But
No,
that's what I would do personally. Like if I was in Blacksburg. And dude,
right.
I'm not gonna lie, it's weird because I used to think about it on the daily. Like I used to think about that thing like on the daily. Like,
I don't know if it's a dailyable thought, like a valid dailyable thought though.
no, I guess I would do that because like, what if Drake was here now or now? Would it be any different? But it wouldn't. It was
You were
always
just that bored, huh? You just didn't have
I was a
nothing
public
going
health
on.
major,
You did
so
not want to pay attention in class. You
no.
did not want to, you got nothing else to think about
I
in
had
that
nothing,
moment.
bro. I had nothing else to do. Drake, that was the first person that came to my mind. But then after this whole Drake, because I used to tell people this, right? So people thought I was a huge Drake fan. And like reasonably so, I guess like if I'm telling that story, like, yo, like Drake. But I'm not even that big. Like, I mean, I'm brown, so like of course I like Drake, but like I'm not a huge Drake fan, like a huge Drake fan. But anybody, no, I feel most people will be like, oh no, this guy loves Drake. But anyway, right. So going back to you, if you were to meet someone famous, like this exact moment, like they pop up in your room like magically, what are you doing?
Um, this may sound surprising coming from me, but I think I would say LeBron James. I'm not even gonna lie.
You don't like LeBron.
I don't, but listen, hear me out. I've
That was one
never
of the things
met
I wanted to get into at some point too. The
I've
whole
never
thing with
met an
like,
NBA. It's fine, like he's a bum, but like I've never met an NBA person before in my life. I just want to see what they look like if they would blend in real life, like to an actual person, and like how I want to look in the mirror, just like, wow, I'm standing next to LeBron right now. How do I stack up? And then I want to be like, then I'll tell him to his face, I think MJ's a goat, but like I'm really glad you're here.
You would say it to his face. No, you would not.
No, you wouldn't.
You would not say it to his
What do you
face.
think? If he asked, go. Yeah.
Yo, God. It's hilarious.
Hey, if he asked me, I would say it.
No, okay. Okay, if he asked you, but why LeBron's not gonna ask you that. LeBron would be like, why am I here? Like you would ask him that. I know you would ask him that. Like you'd be like, bro, LeBron, why are you here? You know what I'm saying? Like
I feel like if I asked him that, he'd be like, why am I anywhere? What is
that's actually that's actually
Am I
some
the
points
king?
LeBron would do.
That's a
Am I
very
a father? Am I the GOAT? Yes, I'm all
That-
three. That's what he would say. Some shit like that.
What'd that mean?
what would that mean?
Bro, that's some shit LeBron would do, bro.
It really is. He would lie
He's such a goofy character, bro.
I love
LeBron
him.
is like
I love
LeBron
him.
is
He's my
like so
goat.
funny.
He's my goat. And you're wrong for that, Akash. Like, dude, we'll have this whole Jordan. You're
Well,
one of the
we
few
could
Jordan
do a
fans.
whole hour just that of me like whooping you in this conversation.
Bro, that's a crazy statement. I feel like
Wow.
I got so many more people on my back than you do, bro. There's so many more stats that say LeBron. Like everything. Almost the
Oh,
only
no.
argument you have is 6-0. But like LeBron has literally everything else. Like we get see, we're already over time and everything. I feel bad. But
I'll say one person's team's been in the greatest team of all time conversation, the others hasn't. That's leave it there.
well, that's a team. Oh my God.
No, that's more of a testament
different.
for LeBron. LeBron carried that sorry ass team to a championship, bro.
Couldn't
That's
carry
that's
that well. Wasn't in the greatest team conversation.
He beat the greatest team.
he
73-9.
he literally beat the
that
greatest team.
Nah, that wasn't a real win. You know that.
What does that mean? What is that? Bro, your argument's already invalid.
Yeah.
Your argument's invalid. But yeah, I guess that's a wrap for today.
That's a wrap.
Um,
So, Akash, the way we end these podcasts, we always ask ourselves, did we use our head today? So would you say you used your head today?
would you
I would
say
say I did. I did use my head today.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
All right. I like that ending.
There
I
you
like
go.
that. All right. Well,
Thank you guys so
I'm
much
gonna
for
catch you all
having me.
next.
A lot of
For
fun.
sure. For sure. You'll come
Absolutely.
again. We'll talk about your stupid takes.
All right, buddy.
But yeah. All right, bro.
Yeah.
We'll catch you guys. Peace.
Bye, guys.
See ya. Peace. Peace.